Hi there and welcome back to another episode of Rod and Reel UK, and today we are not in our home county. We have in fact gone up to Somerset. We're fishing not far from a nuclear power station. Fingers crossed we don't catch anything too weird today, anything with 5 heads or several limbs. Well, I am joined with a Cornishman. Yes, Paul is in the background, and yeah, okay, I'll get the jokes out of the way. He hasn't got 6 fingers, just 6 toes instead. But yeah, the goal for today is catching hopefully a thornback ray. This time of year they come in short and get some decent sized ones, but you gotta be in it to win it. So yeah, it was an early start this morning. We're out here. Let's see if we can get something.
And it's not raining.
And it's not raining, but it's so nice. But anyway, enough of us blabbing. Let's go on with some fishing. Truth be told, today's session was pretty much a last minute decision. We were going to go out fishing the day before, but as always, life gets in the way and threw a bit of a spanner in the works. But the day after still looked pretty good, so we decided to head out there. However, I might have forgotten a few things. Well, the session is off to a strange start. Admittedly, it might be my fault. The tripod I gave Paul was missing the bolts to the legs, which is not ideal because it doesn't really work as a tripod. Sorry, mate. Yeah, he's not best pleased about that. But we have got the rod set up and we have overcome it. So what I'm going to show you now is what we're using for rigs. So what I've got here is my go-to up in the Bristol Channel, and to be honest, most places I fish now, it is the dongle rig. Now I have tangled it up in my hand, which is always useful when you're trying to show something on camera. But yeah, this is the dongle. All it is a circle hook, a little bit of braid, and what we call a dongle clip, which is just there. The idea is the bait sits along the dongle thread, and it's almost like a carp hair rig if you can like comparing it to coarse fishing. And it's a really good system, and I've been using it for a couple of years now. I really can't fault it. It's caught me all the way from down here in the southwest all the way to Scotland and abroad. It works, and I think it's a superb setup. But yeah, at the bottom, essentially it's a pulley rig. So as you can see, you've got your bead there. Everything runs from there. So if you get a big fish, the idea is it'll pull the lead. Try and demonstrate it. So the idea is, so this is the main trace of the hook. So it pulls the lead up to safety like that, and hopefully away from the snags. We are fishing on broken ground here. It is very reefy, so this setup is ideal. Now, top tip, if you haven't got one, is get yourself one of these. It's quite old school. It is rig winders and things like that, but I personally love using a wallet. Again, I'm really sad. The weather's really bad out there and I can't get out fishing. I'll just sit there, watch telly, make some rigs, ready for summer, and I can store them nice and neatly in a rig wallet like this. I have labelled them, so I know exactly what I've made. And it just makes life so much easier. And when you're out fishing, you don't want to be constantly trying to make a new rig every time you lose something. And if you've got something ready to go, you get more time fishing and less time sitting and missing out on bites. So let's get these baited up and get the first baits out of the water. Having dodged a bullet with the tripod, it was just a case of having a look in a bait box for something we could use. Let's have a look at what the goodie box has got today for bait, and we are using some squid. Again, really good up in the Bristol Channel. Plenty of smell, and it just seems to work everywhere. We've also got some little Joey mackerel. Again, stable fish bait. And the secret weapon, which I personally prefer using up on the channel, is this. It is called a bluey, or an Atlantic sour is the technical term for it. But these are superb on the dongles. Hell of a lot of smell and juice. And yeah, the thornback rays up here absolutely love it. So we're going to whip that onto the dongle and try and see if we get a decent sized one out of there. But we need to get this out there. And it's a bit of a walk now. Let's see what we can do. With a little wobble along the cobbles, it was just a case of getting down to the water's edge. This is a little bit easier said than done, as it is pretty squelchy and uneven underfoot, so just take some extra care if you're going to fish areas like this one. Now, just doing a standard overhead chuck with that 5-ounce lead is all going really well until I noticed something behind me. The nightmare of every beach fisherman, the dropped tripod. Oh, language, Timothy. That's a good start. My rod. Oh, good start. Oh, hates the mud now. Sake. That's not what I wanted in the reel. We're finally fishing, and it's not been the best of starts. Had lost that bit for the tripod earlier, and to crown it all, I got down here, and as I was just faffing around, the wind blew my tripod over, and look, my poor reel has been absolutely covered in mud because I dropped it in a great big puddle, which is not great. Rods are out there. It's about half hour now from low, so as soon as that tide starts turning, I think that's when we're going to start getting some bites. But as you can tell, it is absolutely filthy here, and makes things really squelch underfoot, but it is part of the challenge of the Bristol Channel at times, and sometimes it does really pay off and you get some really good fish. So let's see what we get. Yummy mud. Now, when you are fishing on the Bristol Channel, you need to make sure you know what you're doing, because areas like this can be very, very dangerous. Beginners are not sure what the area is like underfoot. This is a little lump of, great big lump of slate, so we're pretty safe underfoot, but quite a lot of the upper channel marks are very treacherous just because of the amount of soft mud and clay there is, so you've got to be really careful what you're doing. And again, if you're not too sure about the area, just get some local advice. But I just wanted to show you something that I think is pretty cool, and you can't really see this often in other spots. So at the moment we are fishing quite a big tide. It's like 10.8 meters or something like that, and as a result that tide zips right out there. It has to come all the way back over there, so it's a hell of a range. And on the Bristol Channel, it is the second highest in the world, so you can imagine it goes out an awful long way and comes in a long way too. But this is what is exposed. So we are fishing on a reef mark, and this strange looking stuff down here are a type of tube worm. Now, you wouldn't see this often because these be underwater in quite a lot of places, but because of the sheer range down here, these get exposed, and these are superb areas for fish to come in. And again, just in front of me, you can see they've got a range of different shellfish, all sorts of stuff to eat. And again, just there, look, even that, I think that's some sort of periwinkle, I think, maybe, not too sure. Let me know in the comments if you know what that shellfish is. But yeah, as you can see, actually tons of food for fish to feed on. So it's not very deep at the moment, but just in front of me is a bit of a shelve off, and so that tide starts coming in, the fish will come in, start feeding off what's here, and fingers crossed, that's when we'll start getting some fish. But there you go, it opens up so much. Let's see if we can get any fish. So I just described about looking at low water marks and seeing what kind of food is around, and just in front of me I found something. We've got a brown edible crab, little tiny one, but these guys are superb eating when they are bigger. If you do find one, yeah, quid's in. But anyway, he's too small to use as bait, and I'm going to leave him in peace because he's hiding away from the seagulls and everything else. But it just shows you that areas like this contain a lot of food for fish. If you can find something like this to fish over, yeah, it's a little bit rough, but a lot of times you'll get fish that'll come on, feed over this, search for food. So just a little tip, just have a look what's around you. After finding the entire cast of Finding Nemo, it's just a case of finding my fellow fisherman, Paul. I'm sure he was somewhere near. Now, there is another creature that is famous in the Bristol Channel, and it is the mud gremlin. I hate to say it, but Paul has fallen victim to the wind. Yeah, I've fallen victim to the mud as well. It is horrendously muddy, but it is part and parcel of fishing on the channel. Have you had any bites so far, mate? No. No.
You had any bites?
No.
No. How many times did your tripod fallen over?
Twice. How many times has your tripod fallen over?
Once.
Oh, there you go. So that's all that's happened at the moment, is just disaster upon disaster. But the tide is now on the way in, and fingers crossed we'll get some fish also. What's your thoughts, Paul? Do you think we're going to get anything?
No.
I love the optimism. Let's see if we can break that pessimistic approach and see if we can catch a fish.
A few moments later.
Paul, how many times has your tripod fallen over now?
Twice.
Was that, mate? Twice?
Twice.
Yes, we're equal. Oh, no. Oh, he's not a happy man. His tripod just fell over again. And, oh, look how squelching muddy he is. Yeah. Oh god, yeah, I'm not gonna laugh too much because I've already dropped mine twice, so it's become a new competition now, who can get the most fails on the tripod. Luckily mine, fingers crossed, is fairly stable at the moment. Oh, unlucky, mate. The mud gremlin wasn't taking things too well and decided to take the mick while I was just out checking the lines.
Well, there he is, wandering off into the distance, thinking his line's got caught in some mudworms or something like that. A bit like a giant yellow mudworm himself, to be honest.
It's only a little bit of mud. It can't be that bad.
He comes up with these fantastical ideas, he does. Let's go fishing here, let's go fishing there. Why can't you just find a bloody place which is flat, don't have to climb, don't have to walk miles, don't have to feel like a mule backpacking? But no, it's always got to go somewhere.
Ah, and the fishing gods are cruel, because no sooner did I come back to the tripod, this happened again. 3 times! Serves it right for video me and taking a piss out of my woodworms, as he calls them. Oh god, yeah. It's sunny, but it's also windy. Anyway, let's get back to the fishing.
Later.
The session's been off to a little bit of a ropey start. Yeah, we both had our tripods fall down quite a few times, and yeah, it's not gone to plan so far. I've lost 2 rigs as well. I think I went over the shelf. It's out there, a little reef, and yeah, I lost it. So we're gonna have a bit of a break. We'll have a cup of tea, a coffee, wind down a little bit, and do something different. Now, what I want to show you here is something quite unique about this particular beach, and in fact, it is one of the oldest beaches in England, and you can find fossils. So we've got ourselves an imprint of an ammonite there. This beach, like the Jurassic Coast down in Dorset, is full of fossils, and if you look really carefully, you can find some pretty cool stuff. Also fossilised sea ferns and things like that. So yeah, pretty cool, and also kills the time off when the bites are not really happening. So I'll see if we can find some, show you on camera. Aha, we have found the first fossil of the day, and it is alive. Have you had much luck, mate?
No.
Are you feeling a little bit less deflated from earlier's muddy mishap?
No.
No, yeah. No, we're trying to find something, and yeah, it's quite a cool little beach. Found a couple little ammonites earlier, so if I can't find one now, I'll show you what we found earlier. So we have a little mooch around and see what we can do. Well, it's not a fossil, but a really cool formation of rock, and it's almost like a little pathway or a causeway. It goes all the way down here, and so it's perfectly formed. It almost looks man-made, but now it's all to do with erosion, and it's quite interesting to see the variety we've got here. So we've got this like causeway, got sheets there, got reef, we've got sand, we've got literally everything. You can see why the fish come up this area to feed, because you just got such a mix of ground and different habitats. But still trying to find a decent sized fossil, so we'll get back to it if we can find one. It's not a true fossil, but we have got a section. I think it's like an imprint of an ammonite. Funny enough, Paul's just found another imprint. Just see on camera just there. Haven't found anything solid yet, so we'll keep the search up, but surely we can't blank on fossils. I mean, they've been dead for about 1 billion years. Well, we'll soon see if we blank on that as well. Bless him, he's having it off. He's having his lunch now. And what
cat food.
Cat food. What, is it actually cat food? Yeah, it might as well be cat food. It's a pitiful sight.
Probably the closest I'm going to get to a fish today.
yeah. The tuna is likely probably anything we're going to get. Honestly, that does look like cat food. Are you sure you're not feeling feline all right?
I do.
Oh, an awful joke. Right, no, we'll stop this and let you eat your lunch in peace. And I might have a coffee myself. I do worry about his lunch sometimes. Well, I guess it's better than eating mud and seaweed. Anyway, we did get back to the fishing eventually, and it's probably a good thing because we are a fishing channel after all. So baits are out in the water, it's just a case of waiting and see if we get anything now. What we're going to do a little bit later on is practice a method called walk-back fishing. So essentially, it's going to leave the baits where they are. As that tide pushes me up the beach, all I'm simply going to do is just leave a little bit of slack on my line, walk the gear up. That way, it keeps the bait out in the deeper water, and fingers crossed, have a higher chance of picking up something like a ray. Now, the downside of the Bristol Channel is that tide comes in really quickly, and in the time I've been chatting to you, it's pretty much in front of where I am. So I'm going to do the first walk back, I'm going to show you on camera what that means. So all I've done here is just loosen the drag off from both reels, which allows me to keep the leads in place while walking the tripod and everything else back. It's a particularly great tactic on really flat beaches. As that tide pushes in, you'll be able to fish the deeper water. But now back in the new position, it's essentially just a case of waiting and repeating the process if I need to. He may drop his tripod, but we could potentially be into the first fish of the day. Quite a really nice take just now on the rod, and yeah, we're hoping we've got a fish on the end of it. So I was going to reel it in and see what we got. Downside is we've got these ledges to contend with, so we're having to wade over these to try and get to whatever this is on the end in, and hopefully we'll see it. Fingers crossed. So what we got. And finally, it looked like our luck had changed and Paul was into something pretty decent. And to our surprise, it was not the species we expected. It actually had a really decent sized sea bass. I tell you what, he may be a fossil, but he definitely knows how to fish. Lovely, lovely sea bass, and literally Rob went screaming off, and there we go. Absolutely stunning bass, and even better, it makes up for all the tripod drops.
Right, now let's get him back.
Yeah, perfect, mate. Nice one. So we just let him bass recover, just to get a bit of oxygen back in his gills, and when he's ready, he's going to hold back of his tail, and he should be ready to go. There we go. There we go. He's kicking, and he's gone backwards, but he is in the water. I tell you what, I do apologise for that release video. I think I got more mud and seaweed than the actual fish. But no, the bass did go back in, and in all fairness, it's just nice to see him fight for another day. And hopefully, it'll make some more bass in the future. Despite the slow start, Paul's had that lovely bass. I've still not caught anything, but to be honest, I couldn't care less. It's nice just to come out, enjoy the sun, be out your mate, and see somebody else catch something that's pretty decent. So I'm really happy. Anyway, we're gonna have a coffee. I'm just going to hope that I can get a bite. Tide's really pushed in nicely now, so that area of broken ground we were standing on earlier is now full of water. I'm really hoping I can pull out a nice hornback grey or even a bass myself. So I've got the baits out there, it's just a matter of waiting and see if I get lucky. But I've got a feeling we might get another fish, so just got to wait it out. And sure enough, the hunch would pay off. It wouldn't be me that was into another fish, in fact it was the bass master himself, it was Paul. And out the corner of my eye, I noticed that he had a bit of a bend in the rod and a sound of excitement. So I tried to scramble over there as best I could. I forgot the drone was flying, to be honest, and it was just a bit of a mess. And honestly, what am I wearing at this point? I've got one trouser in a Wellington, I've got Wellingtons everywhere. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, we were hoping to land this one, as it did seem pretty decent size and a lot bigger than the other one. And unfortunately, the worst thing happened. I really feel for Paul. I just ran over there to help him out with the fish, and again it's just come off at his foot. It's just got it, honestly. I think it's a decent sized bass today. They seem to be right under our feet, so I'm going to change tactics. I'm going to put a squid bait in really close and just see if that gets something. Just watching my rod, a little tap just then. So I'm going to get a squid whipped on, going to cast it out and see if that makes a difference. Frustratingly, just before that fish, Paul actually did have another take, and yet the same thing happened again. It come off. Can be really frustrating at times, but you got to keep trying and persevering. That's what matters. We're about an hour away from high tide now, and things have gone a little bit quiet. I've not had a fish yet. Paul's had a really nice bass earlier, and he's just dropped quite a decent sized fish, which is really gutting, to be honest. It's one of those. It is fishing, and you're not guaranteed to get something every time. But you know what? The Bristol Channel is slowly growing on me, and truth be told, quite a few years ago when I first came down here, I hated it. It was muddy, it was difficult to fish, and I just couldn't stand it. But over the years, I've actually got really fond of the place, and I think through learning through mistakes, chatting to local anglers, and just getting out there and trying my best and doing something, I've started to really grow fond of the area. And I think for me, it's that feeling of beating any elements and beating nature that makes it all worthwhile. The channel, it's got huge tides, big currents, ground can be horrendous in some places. And I think when you do catch something decent, it's a real sense of achievement. And I think for me, that's why I keep coming back. It's always that promise of something bigger and something better the next time you go, or just a smaller dogfish. I love it. I really can't fault it. So yeah, it's not gonna be the last time I come here, and even though I blanked, it doesn't bother me. I'm out here with my mate, we're having a bit of laugh, we're winding each other up, and the main thing is we caught that one decent fish. It's made it all worthwhile. So I'm really hoping I can get something today, and even if it's a snotty little conger reel, I don't care. Let's see if we can get something. Despite the optimism, for the rest of the session we didn't get any more bites. We decided to start packing up as we had a bit of a drive ahead of us, and also in the distance we could see the wet stuff come out of the sky, but we definitely didn't want to be out in that. It's that time of day where we are now packing up. We're going to head back home. I've got a great big blister on my foot. I'm absolutely knackered out. Paul is half dead, and he did trip over, but I didn't get on camera, which was a bit of a shame because that would have been quite funny. Never mind. We didn't do too bad in the end. Well, I blanked, but Paul had a bass. We lost, what, 2 others? Yeah. Which is a bit of a kicker, but at least we've got one in on camera. And we've had fun. We've taken a piss out of each other. We've got absolutely covered in mud. Yeah. And in the day, we've had a good laugh. So Paul's going to head off now because it's not too far a walk, but it's pretty grim on the feet. I'm going to pack up that last rod. I'm going to head back. If you guys enjoyed what you've seen in today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help us out. And we'll see you on our next adventure. Despite a slow start to the session, we came up trumps in the end, and we had an absolutely great time filming up here in Somerset. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video and you want to see some more fishing related content, don't forget to check out our new Reddit page. We'd love to hear from you and the rest of the community. Alternatively, if you want to see some more videos here on YouTube, check out our other playlist here on the channel. And as always, we'll see you on the next video.